Hello and welcome to another O&DR Modurol video. How not to look like an idiot on your first test drive of your XK8, and in fact how to look like you know what you're talking about. This is video 162 in our series of XK8 videos, and please enjoy these 12 fun facts about your XK8. Before you get into your XK8 and drive out, you're going to be presented with a key, a black key and a black alarm fob. Now you should have a pair of these with the vehicle from new, and there should also be a green valet key, which we're not going to discuss in this video. So here you should be able to lock and unlock the vehicle, both with the fob and the key. So that should unlock. You should hear a chirp, but my alarm has actually broken. Unlock. So there you go. You could also use the key, but most of the time it's unnecessary. Also you have a luggage lid or a boot lid release, and a remote headlamp button, which will turn the headlamps on. I think it's for 30 seconds once you press that button. So there you go, that's how you get into your vehicle. One point of note is if you actually unlock the vehicle with the key, the alarm will probably go off. The only way to turn it off is to put the key in the ignition. That's a fun thing to find out if you haven't got the key fob. Okay, interesting thing number 2 is obviously when you open the door, you'll see the window will drop sort of half an inch, and as you close it, it goes back up. Okay, it's not particularly vital to know, but if it's frosty, there is a risk of the window being frozen and difficulty getting it open. Also, if the battery has been flat and the windows haven't been reset, the window will continually go down, and you'll need to reset the windows, which is covered in another one of our videos. Interesting thing number 3, in order to start the car you need to keep your foot on the brake. Obviously all the cars are automatic, they're all V8 petrols, they all have the Jaguar standard J gate. So foot on the brake, ignition on, and then you've got a selection here of the standard, park, reverse, neutral, drive, standard automatic, or you can go to the dark side, the left hand side of the gate, and you can be restricted to 2nd gear and below, 3rd gear and below, and 4th gear and below. Obviously if you've got a 6-speed box, you've got even more selection. Okay, the fairly unusual handbrake of the XK is located between the driver's seat and the sill. Normal handbrakes would be upright, but in this case it lies flat to help you get in and out. If a lot of XK owners don't use a handbrake because of the torque of the V8 engine, they're very often left on them and you can't tell. But if you're on the incline, you do need to use it to hold the car steady. If it is on, you've got the warning on the dash, you need to pull the handbrake all the way up, push the button down, pull it up slightly more, and then release it. That should release the handbrake mechanism. To apply the handbrake, you just need to pull it up, you'll hear the clicks, and then the handbrake will naturally flop down. Number 5 then, the fuel filler opening. Obviously after you've been driving around a while, you'll want to fill up with some fuel. The fuel cap release is located here, just between the steering column and the door, and you press that and the flap will open. Which side is the fuel filler cap on? Well, it's indicated on the fuel gauge here. The little arrow pointing to the left indicates it's on the left hand side. So you come around to the back of the vehicle, the left hand side rear wing, and the fuel flap should open, and you can just take the fuel filler cap out, plonk it on the magnetic holder and fill up with fuel. Number 6 then, opening the boot. You can either do it from the key fob or the button which is next to the fuel filler, or you can do it mechanically by putting the key in between the X and the K and releasing the boot that way. Please be careful, this particular mechanism can get bunged up and jammed up, and without that there's no every other method is electrical to get the boot open, and we'll come to the reason that's important in a moment. Number 7 then, it's important to be able to know how to get into your boot, because here is where it's located, the battery. As the spare wheel is under here. Number 8 then, in order to get your hood or bonnet open, you need to basically lift this catch up. It releases the bonnet clips and you should be able to pull the bonnet open. The bonnet, don't go to the front of the car, because the bonnet actually hinges from the front. You need to pull it up just like that, and there you go, your lovely V8 engine. And if you're interested, you can actually, there's a positive terminal here, and then you can pull a negative off one of the strut nuts if you want to charge the battery from here if you can't get access to your luggage compartment. Don't try and jump start it from that. Number 9 then, how to tell the difference between an XK8 and an XKR. There are very few cosmetic differences. The differences with the R is, this is actually an XKR grille. The XK8 it doesn't have a grille, it has a bar. I've actually modified the car, so be careful. XKRs also have bonnet vents and a small spoiler on the rear wing. That's it cosmetically. Obviously, the main difference between the R is the massive supercharger sat on the top and the 80 plus horsepower, 80 to 100 more horsepower. Sorry, before I forget, there was another thing with the XKR. The XKR has a Mercedes 5-speed automatic box, not a ZF box as per the XK8. I believe that gearbox is slightly more reliable and it can handle more torque, obviously due to the extra horsepower, etc. Number 10 then, these reflectors or side markers on the front and the rear corners of the vehicle, they aren't indicators. They can be illuminated. There are looms in the back because it is a US requirement. They don't flash, they just stay on constantly with the side lights. But a lot of people do modify these to clear lenses, as I've done here, but they're normally amber and unilluminated in the UK. And I've actually fitted the red US ones on the rear of my car. I think they look the business compared to the ginger caters or ginger reflectors. Number 11 then, wheels. On the Jaguar XK8, they use aluminium alloy wheels, 17, 18, 19 and 20 inch diameters. The rolling diameter of the tyre is roughly the same. There was a premium or aftermarket alloy used, this BBS 3-spoke with a stainless steel rim. This is worth quite a bit more money than the standard single piece alloy wheel. All the wheels the wheel sets except the 17 inch are all staggered, i.e. they're slightly wider in the front than the rear because the car is rear wheel drive, assists with the traction and the handling. In that case, you'll expect to see a space saver or skinny spare in the rear in case of a puncture. If you have got 17 inch wheels, you'll probably have a full size alloy spare. If your skinny spare or space saver spare is black, as mine is, that's the standard space saver spare. If it's actually red, that denotes the fact that it's got a slightly wider offset to push the wheel out to give clearance to the bigger brake calipers for the R Performance brakes, the Brembo 4-pot calipers. Okay then, number 12 then, we're going to finish on a fun fact. If you put the ignition on to position 2 and pull back on the wing mirror glass adjustment, 1, 2, 3, 4, your wing mirror will fall flat, will retract. If you want to put it back, you just pull the lever back again for 4 seconds, release. Now most cars have this as part of a pack. You can normally tell because it's got the photochromic mirrors. I think it was part of the same pack. So if you've got these sort of goldy coloured mirrors, wing mirrors and rear view mirror, chances are you've got retractable mirrors. If you haven't, you're pretty unlucky, to be honest. Okay then, there you go. That's the end of the video. I hope those 12 facts help you not look an idiot when you drive your first XK8. And in fact, you might look like a bit of an expert. But there you go. Thanks very much for watching. Please like, comment, share and subscribe for more XK8 videos. And I'm just off for a cruise. See you later.